Cath, how did you find carnivore?
Thanks for having me on your wonderful show, Dave. I love watching all the videos and seeing how people have been so successful with carnivore. And I found it um, a complete carnivore eater from the 1st of June 2024. And prior to that, I had been keto-ish for about 5 years. And I knew that eating carbohydrates was no longer serving me. And I really wanted to address a lot of issues, the main one being weight loss. And I also understand that carnivore isn't just a weight loss program, it's a key to healing the body of so many issues. And that's what I've discovered. And a friend suggested it to me probably about 2023. Had I thought of trying carnivore? And I just thought that sounded so extreme and a little bit extra. And I was quite happy doing keto. Um, but I realised that all the sweet treats and everything else were just a replacement for what I was eating. And I started eating more of one meal a day, and one meal a day, I just felt so good on it. And I just kept progressing until June last year. I was like, right, that's it. I'm not gonna eat anything but meat, fat, and salt. And that's what I did. I came off it a little bit that Christmas because now it's been 16 months and I will never go back. I've had one kind of not really a break, but I had my grandson over the summer holidays and I was making non carnivore food for him. And I just got really sick, as in I started feeling pain in my hands again that I hadn't had, that had all gone, more stiffness in my knee joints. And I was like, no, no more. I'm just going to stick with what makes me feel good. And I just can't believe that it's taken, well, I've turned 60 this year in July, and that it's taken me this long to fully understand and work out what it is that really works for us as humans to eat. And uh, I just feel very thankful every day, so grateful that I have finally worked it out, along with watching people like yourself and Kerry Mann and all the great doctors. When people ever talk or ask me, about my weight loss, because they do, because I have lost a lot over the last 16 months, and I always refer them to doctors, not influencers, but people that are medical professionals that have worked it out and are sharing their knowledge and their expertise, backed with peer reviewed scientific evidence, not just hearsay. And yeah, I wouldn't say I've converted, but people are like, oh, we're so glad that that's worked for you. um, People find
Right,
it hard to accept.
right. So when you got started, I remember we had talked previously. I think you were having a lot of trouble kind of just moving around.
I was.
Um,
I'd had my right knee was fully replaced, full reconstruction in December 2020. And I had been walking with a crutch up until that point, which was the end of 2024. And uh, I went to see my surgeon to look at getting my left knee done. And he sent me off to get the x-rays. And 10 minutes later, I returned with them. And he looked at them and he was like, why do you think you need a knee replacement? And I showed him the x ray from 2020, which clearly showed bone, not just on bone, but through bone on my left knee. Um, and the x ray that I just had done, you can quite clearly see a gap where cartilage has regrown. And he's like, why are you using the crutch? And I was like, I just want to protect my joint. I don't want it to get worse before I get the knee replacement. And he said, Cath, you don't need a knee replacement. Throw the crutch away. So I did. I left the crutch in the car that day, which was the 27th of November, and I haven't used it since. And
Uh,
since then, my mobility has increased so much that I was just in Queenstown overnight and around Glenorchy Walkway. It was so windy, and things, walk up hills, walk down hills, things that I'd never imagined that I would be able to do again. Um, I'm also, I actually believe by next winter, which is June, July, August of 2026, I'll be able to strap skis on my feet again and slide down a slope, which I haven't done for 46 years. No, not quite that long, 36
wow.
years. Um, so I'm super excited about that.
That's fantastic. So when you went to see your doctor that time and he said, "Throw the crutch away,"
Yeah.
was he interested in the difference, like what had happened? Did you get any questions?
Yes, he said, I mean, it was a short appointment, right? They're surgeons, they're super busy. The point of the appointment was to look at next steps. Well, the next steps are I'll see you in 12 months, keep doing whatever you're doing. And he acknowledged that obviously weight loss plays a big um, part in that, but weight loss doesn't regrow cartilage. Weight loss takes pressure off for sure, but I hadn't lost like 1,000 kilos. I wasn't that massive that it's made that much of a difference. Obviously, it has, but I still have swelling around the joint, and it's still painful whenever I stand on it or go from bending to a standing position. And I certainly don't walk like a normal person yet, but I can get around, and um, it's improving all the time. I do a lot of stretching and a lot of exercises to help with the muscles below and above, because I realise that that's key. It's not just going to fix itself, and it's never going to be 100%. Goodness, I'm not a young person anymore.
And it says a lot that how long ago? 5 years ago, you thought, well, you're definitely going to be getting a knee replacement.
Mm,
And now you're thinking, "Well, next time there's some snow, I'm gonna be getting skis on."
yes, yeah. Yeah, that is the aim, and I surprised myself yesterday walking down a hill. I walked up the hill to get to a better vantage point to see the lake, and I thought, oh, this will be challenging because it's going to be hard to go back down. Climbing is fine; I can get up, um, but it's that angle going down, and actually, it was okay. I thought, "Huh, this is good. More of this, please."
It's, it's amazing when you get relief that
Mm,
you thought, "Well, I'm never gonna see this again." "This is just I'm getting old, I haven't looked after myself. I'm getting old. That's just the way life is, blah, blah, blah." And then finding out that you can just flip a switch by changing what you eat. It's pretty amazing feeling.
yeah, it's there's so many things that go along with it. The food freedom, the food noise, not just the healing of the body. Just having a day that's not focused on what meals do I need to eat, how do I plan. I don't know if yeah, so much wasted time. And if I haven't made any plans, I just get something out of the freezer and throw it in the air fryer. And yeah, it's the way of life now, and I will definitely never go back.
Yeah.
Food is not the focus of my day. Finding things to do, and just so many things, Dave. The procrastination button has been also turned off, as well as the food noise button. Um, I think I was the queen of procrastination, but in the last year, I think when I last talked to you, I was in the nearly halfway through a graduate diploma of teaching. I've now completed that. And in March, I applied for, thank you, and got accepted for a role at a school, which is like, it's my dream job. If I could write my own job description based on my life in music and education and what I've done, this job was it. And I got accepted, and it meant a move to another town, another island, and a full time teaching job at a secondary school. And I just completed a term, and I'm on my first lot of holidays after having taught a term, which is incredible.
That's
Yes,
fantastic. Congratulations.
thank you. So it's never too late. We are lifelong learners. Um,
Mm.
and I didn't set out to prove a point. I didn't set out to do anything other than my time of treading water um, was at an end. I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do, and um, yeah, I wasn't trying to prove anything. I just went through the motions, completed the diploma, got the job, moved, and I love it down here. I love it so much. It's considered as South Canterbury. So there's mountains and rivers and lakes all within an hour's drive. Mount
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it is. It's incredible.
Mm. So, um, this is a lot of, I guess, a lot of the changes that we've talked about really are kind of stuff that you feel internally, whether it's the procrastination goes away, your motivation increases, your ability to do things increase, that kind of thing. Um, and I definitely feel those as well.
Mm.
Um, for just on the weight loss that you experienced, how much weight did you lose?
So far, and I'm still only, I guess I'm probably about halfway. Um, since June, I have lost, hmm, I've sort of stopped counting, about 48 kilos. Um, yeah, 48. And I've dropped,
Wow.
I think, 5 dress sizes. Nothing fits me. Everything's too big. Uh,
That's a you know, even though it gets expensive, that's an awesome problem to have though, right?
Yeah, I literally didn't pack any of my summer clothes when I moved. I threw them all out because I knew I wasn't going to fit them. And most of my winter clothing is ginormous. I'm wearing tops as dresses. This is a top, but it's a dress. It goes down past my knees. Um, and this is, the sleeve's supposed to be here. So at the moment, I'm just wearing, don't really care if
Oh,
it's
seriously, like, can you pull that up again? Like, the pink is meant to be closer to the top. Wow.
yeah, yeah. This is a top, but it's quite literally down past my knees. I could wear it as
Wow.
if I really wanted to, but it's not that warm yet, so I'm wearing leggings.
Right. Um, so people around you must be noticing, like, either the weight loss or the fact that you're taking swimming lessons inside your own clothes now. It's like,
Yeah, the kids at school, because nobody knows me down here, so they don't know that I used to be a lot more massive, I should say. My highest weight was 205 kilos, and currently I'm 132. Um, so I've got about another, I don't know, 40, but off that there'll be nearly, I would say, 15 to 20 kilos of loose skin. So my plan is next summer, not this one coming, is to start on um, the excess skin surgery removal, because I'll probably need three visits to Thailand. And I had thought, oh, maybe I won't bother, but I think it'll also be a health thing as well. when you're left with this much excess skin when you have been so large for so many decades. It's a real thing. So uh, I think it's something that I'll definitely be pursuing. And no joint surgery,
Right, and just
surgery.
yeah, just the extra weight from the skin is like getting rid of that takes the pressure off your joints and your heart and everything, right?
Yeah, and I had three very quick, successive pregnancies, which were all delivered by cesarean section. So that hasn't helped with carrying excess weight since I had the children as well. Um, and that's, yeah, it's nearly 40 years. Um, my eldest will be 38 next year. So, it's all part of it, and I'm up for it.
Right. Yeah. So has anyone else been inspired around you by this? Have they said, "Oh, I've got to try this"?
Yes, a friend of mine who I cast her. I did Kinky Boots last year. I think I was talking to you then, and I was the musical director for it. And she had noticed, as they all had from April through to September, how much weight I'd lost. Um, but she wasn't able to stick with the low carb. Um, you can't eat high fat and high carb. It's one or the other. You want to successfully lose weight, and unfortunately, she hasn't been able to stick with it. I did send her all the links and the videos and the suggestions and whatnot because I felt it would work really, really well for her. She's got debilitating back pain and just many other conditions of carrying that much weight. And somebody that I've met down here, also a very larger lady, but a lot younger than me, um, and she's trying really hard to reduce her carbohydrates. But I believe if you don't reduce them all, the food noise still continues. And if you're a sugar addict, like most of us are, um, then that's what you need to do. Just get rid of them all, and then the food noise goes away and everything becomes clearer and easier and lighter.
Yeah, I think back to my early tries at Atkins and going onto keto, and I've never been a person who loved vegetables or anything like, or fruit for that matter. I
Yeah,
always thought, like fruit makes your hands so messy. You can easily go to the shop and buy candy or chocolate, and there's no mess involved. Um, if you want a sweet taste. But
yeah.
those early kind of times when I was doing Atkins or keto, and I mean, it was basically carnivore because I didn't like the plants. Um, and I would find that as soon as I tried anything that had a sweet taste, as soon as I had anything with any carbohydrate in it, I was straight back at it. I'd put some nuts in, cashews, almonds, anything like that, and I couldn't stop. It's just like once you start, if you've got that kind of nature, once you start on the carbohydrates, it's just straight downhill.
Oh, totally. I walked into the supermarket yesterday. I put myself through 2 days of a lot of driving because I wanted to go to Queenstown. I wanted to see mountains. I wanted to see snow. I wanted to do all the walks with my dog, and I did that. And I was so tired when I got home. And I stopped in at the supermarket, and the first thing that I see is, I don't know if you've got them where you are. They're called skinny covered almonds, and they're basically almonds covered with some kind of light sugar. And I was like, no, go and buy the cheese and the meat, and I did. And I mean, that's my cheap takeout dinner is sliced cheese and some ham. In a packet and some meat, and actually I got some prawns. Uh, so I made myself up a platter of decent food instead of no. Don't succumb to the sweet covered almonds. Like I haven't eaten anything like that in a year. Why am I going to now? But when you're tired, you've got to have a plan. You've got to have something up your sleeve that you can just grab so you don't do something stupid because it doesn't serve you. Um,
Mm,
and
mm,
I had made up a whole lot of we can get like dehydrated pork rinds here and throw them in the air fryer. And there's an outfit here called Mingle Seasoning, and they do seasonings without all the nasties, no preservatives, no sugar, no anything. It's basically flavoured salt, and they've got a salt and vinegar one which uses a dried apple cider vinegar. So shoot me, it's not 100% carnivore, but it turns pork rinds into salt and vinegar chips, basically. So I had a bag of that I took with me, and if I really felt like eating something stupid, then I snacked on that. Um, but I didn't even eat them all, and there's still so I brought them home, and there's still some in the pantry. But it was just something to have on hand instead of doing something stupid,
mm.
um,
That's
which
quite ingenious, the salt and vinegar taste.
oh yeah, because I don't know and I think I'm more relaxed now. I've been doing this for 16 months. I'm not going off the wagon or on the train, whatever you call it. So I allow myself things like that because I know I'm not going to slide. Um, I just don't want to, so I'm not going to. I have enough. Um, Brain cells that work properly now because they're protein and fat driven instead of carbohydrate driven. And the cognitive ability to go, no, don't be stupid. That's not going to serve you. Go and get what you need to eat. Whereas in the past, I'll be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does.
It's interesting that, when you're actually fueling your body with the correct thing, your body can make better decisions. It's almost like we've been sabotaged.
Oh, definitely. I look at decades of 100% self sabotage who I'm somebody that everybody around me, all my life is considered a leader and as strong. And I consider myself a very strong person, but not when it came to a food addiction of sugar. Like any addiction, it owns you, and it did, and not anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, so, day to day, what is your eating plan like?
Day to day, when I'm working, so midweek, being a high school teacher, I have a coffee. Also, don't come for me, carnivore police. I have a coffee with butter in it, a lot of butter and salt, and that's what I have at the beginning of the day, usually about 7 a.m. And then I'll eat my only meal at around 4:30, which will be 500 grams of something. It might be mince wrapped in bacon thrown in the air fryer. It might be pork panko crumbed, anything, something of a reasonable amount of protein and high fat. And that's usually about it. And then in the weekends, I'll add in something extra. I make Bella's pancakes, but as a sheet pan. So I just make the mix up and put it on a sheet pan and bake it in the oven for 10 minutes on 140, and then just chop it up. And I'll either have it with butter or with whipped cream and make like a layer cake type thing. So I feel like I'm having a treat, um, and just more relaxed eating. And yet all it is 6 eggs and about a quarter cup of cream if we look at it like that. And I spread that over a couple of days. Um, and it's just another way of getting more fat and protein in a slightly more interesting way. and then just whatever meal at around about 4:30. I don't eat in the evenings. I don't snack. Um, I just, yeah, quite happy with iced water, sparkling water. Uh, yeah, I just don't need to
Mm.
eat in the evenings anymore. It's not like I need to sit and watch TV and eat. It's not a leisure activity.
So for someone that's watching that hasn't tried carnivore yet, maybe they've tried keto, but they're thinking about moving towards carnivore. Um, how can you explain the ability to get up, have a coffee with some butter in it, and then face a day of work with, I imagine, kids who have got a lot of energy and require a lot of energy to get them focused and stuff, and go that whole day without eating?
Yeah, the kids ask me that too. They're like, Miss, you don't eat. Have you got any food? I'm like, no. You know I don't have food. I don't have a snack drawer like the previous music teacher. Um, I don't. I've always felt better when I'm not putting food into my system that is making it work in ways that take the energy from what it is that you actually need. Do you know what I mean? I've always felt better, even before carnivore, before keto, before anything, if I didn't have breakfast. Um, Everybody's like, "Oh no, got to eat breakfast. That's why you're so overweight. It's because you don't eat breakfast, and then you overeat at the end of the day." I'm like, actually, I don't. I was pretty much starved myself for most of my life, um, and then just ate carbohydrates. So all I did was inflame insulin. So because I'm not putting anything inflammatory into my body, um, it's not having to work as hard. So I have the clarity and the energy to go all day. I might have water, might have electrolytes sometimes. I'm not obsessed with taking supplements or anything like that. Sometimes I might have another coffee during the day, not with butter, just go into the staff room and make a coffee. But it's more, oh, I've got a free period, I'll go make a coffee. It's not like, oh, I need something to keep me awake. Um, I guess I'm still using a lot of the fat on my body as energy as well. Um, and there'll come a time when there isn't as much of that resource to use. It'll be interesting to see if my energy drops, but I've never had a problem with the energy levels. Everyone's like, "Oh, you must feel so much better now that you've lost so much weight." No, I feel the same. Um, I really think it's all in your mind. Uh, I've always been a get up and go person, no matter what my size. It's just now a whole lot easier. I can bend over and put my own shoes on. I don't have to sit down to get dressed. Uh, yeah, I don't need extra food to fuel my body.
Right. Yeah. I find on those days that I can, like, I don't need to eat straight away. Like, I'm just not feeling hungry or I get busy with something. Um, just having that black coffee and get starting the day like that, that's some of the days that I can be the most focused and have the best energy. Like, without any food at all, you just kind of you can work.
Mm. Most definitely,
Yeah.
I think our gut is our second brain, and when we feed it pretty much anything, it has to react. Um, and everything, the way that it reacts, is based on hormones. I don't think I really understood the role that hormones play in everything that we do. And the one food group that feeds our hormones the best way is fat. Um, I've never done anything like an egg fast or a fat fast or anything like that, but maybe in the future, because there are weight stalls, I don't really care. But maybe as I get closer to my goal weight, whatever that might be, I might want to mix things up and try addressing that more. But hormonally, I think, and for me, um, cortisol has been the most active hormone in my life, and it's now, I think it's gone to sleep. Um, I don't store fat on my stomach anymore; it just keeps reducing. So I'm assuming that it's no longer in action. Um, and the other thing on hormones, it's just shut down menopause instantly, gone overnight. Um, and that would be,
Wow.
yeah, that would be my biggest reason. And that's what I say to my girls, like, Mum, they're like, Mum, what should we do? I'm like, oh, carnivore. Um, if you want your hormones to behave, feed your body fat and everything just calms. And um, I've had, I think, maybe one hot flash in my entire, I don't even know what the word is, move, movement through to menopause. Gone, nothing.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had someone a comment from someone ask me a question about that,
Mm.
to have more women talking about what happens with hormones through menopause. Um, wow. So, Kath, if you were giving someone advice about starting this way of eating, would you advise them to just jump in, rip the band-aid off, get in, or kind of transition in slowly?
I think you have to transition slowly. Our body, it depends, I guess, on how it's being treated. But I think just starting one meal at a time. Um, I would love for people just to be able to just drop carbohydrates and have an incredibly pleasant experience. But the fact is that sugar, fructose, glucose is a drug, and or acts like a drug for our body to metabolize. And when you reduce that or stop it altogether, then you go cold turkey and you experience the same symptoms as you would coming off um, any substance. So we have to, I think, ease into it. Um, Otherwise, people just stop, and that's what happens, isn't it? People that do try cold turkey, I mean, everyone, there's an exception always. Depends on your circumstances and the people you have around you, I guess, by way of support. I don't have anybody around me, so there's nobody there to sabotage. Um, I have a boarder, but he doesn't have like food in the house either, and I don't have any food. I have stuff in the freezer. That's it. Um, I would suggest one meal at a time, and just start with bacon and eggs for breakfast, and um, a high protein lunch, and a high protein diet, high protein dinner, and just start increasing fats. I think that's the hardest thing. Certainly for somebody that grew up in the 70s and 80s, where eating no fat was, that's what you did, that's what you were taught, that's what you were told. If you want to lose weight, you are what you eat. If you're fat, it's because you eat fat. And I'm like, I don't eat any fat. My mother didn't let me eat fat from about the age of 8. Um, so I could never understand. No, that's not it. It's got to be something else. And we've been living on an upside down pyramid, food pyramid, for so long. It's going to take a while to reverse that, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like it's almost like you've grown up on this low fat diet, almost zero fat diet. You haven't used your gallbladder at all in that time, and then suddenly, as you introduce fats, your gallbladder's like, "Oh, we're doing this now, are we?" It's gonna take me a little while to get working again.
Oh, it's so true. When I was pregnant with my third, I think, so I would have been around 25. And from around the age of 25 to 35, I had constant gallbladder stone issues, and which ended up in pancreatitis. I had twice, and they didn't take my gallbladder, but it was because I was eating almost zero fat. And here I am presenting as a very, very overweight young woman. Um, and I had doctors saying, "Oh, you've got to have bariatric surgery, you won't see 30." And I heard that so many times. I'm like, newsflash, I made it to 60. But that was their solution, bariatric surgery, and you're fair fat. And, well, no, you're not quite 40, but there's all these misnomers around gallstones, and they were actually probably as a result of pregnancy, and they were estrogen based. I had an overload of estrogen in my body, which also comes from an overload of fructose and sugar, and that was my body's way of dealing with it.
Um, so, Kath, if people want to reach out to you, do you have
Mm.
any way of getting in contact?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Catherine Carr. Also, my Gmail account is cathcar2014 at gmail.com. And feel free to put those links into the description. I'm here in New Zealand, in the South Island, and South Canterbury. And yeah, if people have any questions at all on reversing arthritis, reversing knee, hip problems, reversing asthma, that's the other one we didn't talk about today. I don't take asthma medication anymore after 50 years. I have no more asthma. It's gone completely, which I was a chronic asthmatic labelled as, and took, I don't even have the inhaler in here, a very high dosage of budesonide twice a day. No more. It blows my mind. And here I am living in one of the coldest parts of the country, and cold was always one of my biggest triggers. Um, and dust and grasses, and I go out and mow the lawns and don't even cough or sneeze or uh, it's. I mean, asthma is an allergic reaction. Um, Clearly, I was allergic to sugar. Now that I no longer put that into my body, maybe I should try sniffing it. I'm joking. Um, it's just, yeah, there's just not the information. And actually, I was thinking about something today with plaque with our teeth, um, and how plaque is, you know, arterial sclerosis and heart conditions and plaque building up in our bodies. Well, if we don't have plaque building up in our teeth anymore, does that mean it's not building up in our arteries? And that is plaque actually a build-up as a result of, as dentists will tell us, of fructose and carbohydrates? Why is it not that plaque building up in our bodies is not also because of fructose and carbohydrates? I was watching a wonderful doctor whose name escapes me that Kerry Mann just interviewed. She's an anaesthetist, and she was talking about something like that. And I left a comment on her Instagram because I'm just suddenly like, is plaque actual plaque? Arterial sclerosis, is that because of fructose and not fat? Probably.
Yeah, it's everything's connected, but also, this makes you realize that the body is actually amazing in the way that it works. And we've tried to reduce it down to siloing everything into these little things, and it's not like that at all.
No, no, it's just simple. Simple and masterful all at the same time.
Mm,
The
yeah,
solution is simple: protein and fat.
yeah. So, Kath, I'll put those links in the show notes. Thank you very much for coming back on and letting us know how things are going. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you for having me. I feel grateful and blessed every single day.